Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of your most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
And welcome back to the Super Breakdown. We have another amazing episode for you. It's been a long week for me. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I'm happy to be here with my bestest co-host in the world. We're here with the Darth Legacy himself, Jason M40.
Hello.
And the one, the only, the Arachna demigod himself. Even a Nazi smiles when he hears this man's name. Lord Triage. And the panties drop, and it's just a waterfall everywhere.
Don't mind me this episode. I'm drunk.
I'm not even, bro. I am bone dry right now. I have no smoke. I have no drink. It's been a long week.
Yes, that sounds very, very upsetting. I deeply apologize for you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It has been a long week. It really has. But, everybody to each their own, everybody deals with something.
Yo. What about you, Triage? How's your week, man, bro?
I feel like I'm on the fucking Muppet Show. I'll just leave it at that.
No, it's like in The Boys when that soup can start seeing Muppets in the real world, and they're all
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, from Gen V. Yup, man, dude. Listen, my life this past month has been. I feel like I'm fucking the kids in Jim Carrey, in the Jim Carrey movie. Fucking.
Whoa, that sounded crazy. Hold on. We need. Whoa.
the fucking series, the series of unfortunate events, man. This month has literally been that, just a series of unfortunate events, bro. You know, I locked myself out the house 2 times this month. Locked myself out the house twice this month.
I've done that before. It's the worst.
Yeah, first time I got lucky. I left the balcony door open. Right, so cool. I was able to get in. Right,
Spider-Man, nigga.
I didn't. I called my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, he's a lot thinner than me, and more acrobatic than me. My big ass, I get on top of a ladder, it's going overboard. There ain't no way in hell I'm climbing a ladder, especially at the height. It was a flimsy ass ladder. I was not doing that shit. Hell no, nope. But he was nice enough. He came through real quick. Pulled up in his little race car real quick, helped us out. But the second time was not so lucky. I was actually responsible and locked my balcony door the night before, so it was still locked. I was responsible, and so I I had to spend some money and get me a new lock. Had to take a brick to that bitch. Had to take a brick to that bitch. Had to take a big ass screwdriver and hammer to it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a long day.
Hey, I mean, honestly, if you have not yet ever been locked out of your house, it will happen one day, whoever you are.
That is that is disconcerting, but okay.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it'll happen to everybody, you know.
You gotta lock your keys somewheres. See, me, I done stopped myself from locking my keys in the car by separating my car key from the actual key fob.
Oh man.
And I got an older car. Yeah, I got an older car, so it doesn't automatically lock when after a while of the car being off.
Yeah.
So let's say if I leave the key fob in the car, and I take the actual like ignition key and walk away, I'm like, oh shit, I can just run back, open the door, and lock it. But also, I have a piece of shit ass car, so if anyone want to steal it, by all means, you ain't gonna get far. Your brake's gonna break out on you. Yeah, no, you ain't gonna get far. But no, yes, it's been a long week for all of us, but we are happy to be here with another show with you guys with the recent release of Marvel. I'm hearing a lot of breath. I'm doing a lot of breath on this mic. Let me back up a little bit. With the recent release of Marvel Television's Agatha All Along, the continuation of WandaVision that follows the story of Agatha Harkness, we have decided to do a full breakdown of Agatha for y'all today, and also a breakdown of the first 3 episodes of Agatha All Along. So there will be spoilers in this episode. If you have not watched Agatha All Along, I will openly say when we are going to start talking about it, so you guys can just click away for that. But no, we're definitely gonna get into it. It's gonna be good because Agatha, the character in herself, she has such a being such an old character, as in like character's age within the comics. She's like centuries old.
Yes,
which she has had a part in a lot of what goes on within the Marvel universe, especially on that dark side of things. So
yes,
I'm interested to get to get into this. What is your guys' understanding of Agatha?
So far from the show, I've gotten that they wanted. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a few things there. We can talk about those.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey. Okay. All right, y'all. I guess we're going into the show off rip. I guess. So this is just be prepared. Spoilers. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. Spoiler warning. All right. I'm gonna keep that up on the screen for the entire time we're talking about it. So if you pop in, you see it, pop the fuck out. Unless you want to get it. Unless you want to get the whole shit spoiled for you. But yeah, no, go ahead.
So, from what I gathered, it's that Agatha seems to be more of a victim of circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see her as being sort of like the reluctant villain, because like the whole thing stems from like her Coven betraying her. But I'm really interested to see how that's going to work, especially with that whole thing of them just hinting at the whole thing with her power absorption thing.
Well, here's the thing. We don't really know the full story. We only know what happened from Agatha's point of view. There's a possibility that she was power hungry and tried to steal their powers. And so they're like, yeah, no, Shorty, you got to go. There's a possibility she did something fucked up. That made her Coven turn on her. Remember, there's 3 sides to every story. There's left, the right, and then the truth.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So we never know.
I think, we learned like her backstory. We learned more from WandaVision.
Yes.
So
that was our first time meeting her in live action within the MCU.
Yeah, and I mean, you learn, what happened and how her Covenant betrayed her, like you guys said, and it's all based on like redemption, because as of right now,
Mm-hmm.
she basically lost all of her power because Wanda
Yeah, drained it
defeated
all.
her.
Yeah, no, she Wanda actually absorbed all her power.
It's interesting because the MCU likes to portray the point of view from the antagonist side a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And
that's very true.
and you don't really learn or find out the twists and turns, until the end.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I mean, I know a little bit about what's going on, but I think it's going to be a nice surprise, whatever they're going to do.
No, absolutely. All right. So for those of you who are watching who don't know who Agatha Harkness is, Agatha Harkness is an ancient witch who lived through the Salem witch trials. And when I said that she has had a hand in so much of the Marvel comic universe, it's wild. She was the mentor for Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, even to the point of being the babysitter of Franklin Richards, the child of Sue and Reed Richards, who, as we all know, is one of the most powerful superhumans within the Marvel universe, to the point of he is a reality bender. And then she eventually joined the Daughters of Liberty, and then she was also a part of the Witches of New Salem. And then for those of you who don't know, and if you've seen the show, they make reference to this here and there within the first 3 episodes. She's also the mother of the evil wizard Nicholas Scratch, who was actually within, like, he's an actual character like within a lot of witch lore. Like if you've watched Sabrina, Nicholas Scratch is a character within Sabrina, and we actually see him in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, which is a great show. I definitely recommend go and watch that if you have not watched that. And Nicholas and so she's the mother of Nicholas Scratch and the creator of the Darkhold Boy, which is something that I gotta go back in and look at. But from what I'm understanding from the name, because I haven't really um dug too deep into it, I'm pretty sure that that's like he's probably the physical embodiment of the Darkhold itself. For those of you who don't know, the Darkhold is pretty much a witch's grimoire of the an evil grimoire, which is like the most like filled with the most evilest like spells and shit within it. So she has a lot. She's done a lot. She's been through a lot. Like she's like from the 15th century.
So, like, one of the things I understand about her character is that apparently she had this whole philosophy that she felt like witches and warlocks and knives live separately from humanity, and apparently that caused a stir amongst the elders of the village she was living in. That's one of the reasons why she left. Now, one of the things to touch, because you just brought it up, so I want to touch on it real quick. Was it ever truly mentioned how Agatha got the Darkhold? Because the last time we saw it was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, well, also remember, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is unfortunately not canonized in the MCU, but they mentioned, but within this show, I'm suspecting that because they're saying that she sacrificed her son. I'm thinking that because they're saying that she walked so this whole show is about her in a coven, walking the witch's road, which is at the end of the road, there's an all-powerful being or whatever that will grant you what you truly want or what's missing, as the teen, they're calling him teen, as what he says that it will grant you what's missing.
I think I mean, this is spoiler right here, obviously. I think it was the latest episode, we really find out there's a rumor among all the witches that know of Agatha Harkness that she traded her son for the Book of the Damned.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting at. Yeah.
That
And
was
who-
brought up, and that was one of the ways in which she gained all of her power. And then I think that this kid, this other witch basically says Agatha, is so oblivious she wouldn't even know if her kid showed up in her life.
Bro, I was thinking the same shit.
And the look on this kid's face was like, oh my God. Like,
and then
yeah.
the fact when he went to drink the wine, how she stopped him, that was real maternal to me.
yes,
Mhm.
correct.
Mhm.
And I think she
But-
has an idea, I think, of who this child
Yeah.
is, but I think she's ignoring it. She does not want to face it because
Yeah.
as of right now, that seems to be,
because
her flow. She doesn't want to face her past.
yeah, and
Well-
that's a big thing that's a big vibe that I'm getting from the show is pretty much Agatha in this show has to face her past because she's already walked the witch's road and she survived, and that's why she was so reluctant on going back. But
Yeah.
then
Well-
when Teen brings up like, "Oh, you're missing your power, and I'm missing, and I want a little bit of power myself. So why don't we all get together and take the witch's road? And at the end, we'll get everything we're missing." And that's why she ends up getting all these other witches that are missing something. So we have the potions witch who is bound and no longer has magic. We have the divinations witch who is pretty much losing her mind and is no longer in her former glory. We have the protection witch, the Asian witch, who she's missing the secret of what happened to her mom. How did her mom die? Right?
Yes. Yep.
And then we have the final witch of this that she refuses to pretty much bring apart, which I think she's Blackheart.
Well, that was Agatha's name before. I'm sorry, not Agatha. That was the name that the Scarlet Witch gave that woman.
But you also have to remember this, boys. Who did she say that she gave her son to?
Mephisto
Mephisto is who?
is the father of Blackheart.
And he's also the one that created the Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep.
So
you see where I'm saying how this is coming full circle slowly?
Yes.
Yeah. And honestly, when they first brought up this show and said, "Oh, we're gonna do something about Agatha," I was very, very hesitant on it. But I'm like, I'll check it out because one, they got the perfect time to drop it. It's like the start of spooky season. You know what I mean? And the show it got its spookiness to it. And so now after I actually watched it, I was like,
yeah.
They might be getting at something because when she fights the chick who plays so here's my thing. This is why I love this character. I don't know her name. No, what? Give me a sec. Let me look it up real quick. Let me look up the actress's name real quick because she's a weirdo. The actress herself is a weirdo.
Also, side note, the
Mhm.
child when the child breaks into Agatha's home to try and like find out where the road is, when he's at the police station with her, he has black fingertips as well. And Agatha looks at his fingers and he's like, "What? It's from the ink." But no. I don't think that's from the ink.
No, because we all see when witches use their powers, their fingers and their nails become black.
Yes, exactly.
So her name is Aubrey Plaza. For those you don't know, Miss Aubrey Plaza, all right, if correct, she was also in Legion.
Yes.
Yeah. She played pretty much the physical embodiment of like what was like messing with the see, I never fully watched Legion. I didn't finish it. I ended up falling off of it.
She was supposed to be one of the many representations of the Shadow King.
Thank you. That was a better way. I was about to explain it all fucked up. But yeah. So, and naturally, anytime I've watched an interview from her, she was also in Scott Pilgrim, fucking, and just the list goes on. First off, she's an amazing actor. Two, she's beautiful, and and she's about to be in this new movie, this new weird movie with Juan Carlos Esposito called how do you say it? Megalopolis?
Megalomaniacs.
No, no, Megalopolis or something like that.
Oh,
But yeah, so she's an amazing actor and an amazing, really spooky actor as well. Her IMDb is ridiculous. So I'm really excited. But so there was a scene where Agatha and her, so the character that she's playing, the character's name is Real Vidal, right? Vidal, Real Vidal. So when Rio breaks into her house and they start scrapping and fighting, we end up seeing that, you know, there's a talk between the two, and she's like, and Agatha tells her, she's like, you have no heart. She looks at Agatha, she's like, I have a heart, it's just black. And then she grabs her hand and she licks her hand and walks out. So I was like, ooh, right there, boom, black heart mentioned.
yes, very true.
Right? And then the next episode, that's when Jennifer, the potions witch, the black lady, she makes the mention of Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, right there. Oh, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in that one meme. Oh, right there.
Well, yeah, because it would make sense. Because, well, hold on, and this is one of those things where we're also jumping the gun a bit. So
yes, we are.
If Agatha did walk the role and was granted ultimate power, was granted whatever to what she wanted. Now, here's my thing. Let's say that at the end of the role, the being is Mephisto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way it's looking for me.
Same.
Yes, that seems logical.
Mephisto in the comics is notorious for making deals with people, but the first rule when dealing with the devil is don't. The second rule when dealing with the devil is the devil will always have his due.
Yes, he'll always collect.
Yeah. So if she walked the row and got to the end of it, she'd have to trade something for what she wanted.
Which is why people are saying that it was her son that she gave up. And so inside the locket, they showed that she has a lock of hair. I'm thinking that lock of hair was her son's, as a lock of her son's hair.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that's what Teen was, because we're calling him Teen because he's been glamored so that he can't like every time he goes to talk about himself, who he is, no witches can hear it. He's been glamored from all witches. Witches cannot find him,
which is highly interesting, and they seem to think that that's highly interesting as well.
You guys want to know what I think?
Yep, go ahead.
So what I think is correct. Agatha gave up her son. Incorrect. She gave him to Mephisto. I think she gave him up in general to keep him out of that dark realm, to keep him away from witches and stuff like that. And I think she was the one that placed the glamour on him. But what I also think happened is what she had to give up was the memory of her son.
I don't know, because you saw this scene like where she heard the baby crying and she reached over and she opened the bassinet and it was the Darkhold. So it's like, but if she gave him up as soon as he was born, she wouldn't really know anything about him anyway.
Exactly.
But the other thing is,
Agatha is also a very, 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 very crafty bitch. She's a crafty bitch. She can wiggle her way out of anything. So I'm pretty sure she was able to hit a caveat to Mephisto.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Well, here's another thing. We're also forgetting one main question. Who the hell's the kid's dad?
That's very true.
That's
Mephisto could be his dad.
Okay. I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Because
I smell what Triage is cooking.
So if Teen is her son and she gave her son to Mephisto, in essence, her son could be quote unquote Blackheart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but
So
I see what you're saying. So she got to the end of the Witch's Road, and then of course, she decided to make the deal with the devil for power, and so and so she gave something up. She had to give something up. I'm thinking, she had to give up. She gave up some of that pool tang. She gave us some of that pool tang to create what Mephisto wanted was a black hold. So, but it was a dark hold. No, he gave her the dark hold. In return, she gave him a son, Blackheart. So, if you're such a powerful as being as Mephisto, wouldn't you want to have? And Mephisto's big thing is, yes, he's the king of hell, but he also wants to take over the realm of Earth, right?
Yes.
And it's already said they can't be on the earthly plane without a physical corporeal body, right? A physical body. So I'm thinking, if I was Mephisto, I'd want to have a child with one of the strongest witches that are living, right? So that child, one, would have the power, be a descendant of a powerful ass witch and a descendant of essentially the king of hell, but also have a physical form and be able to live on Earth.
Yes, this is true to an extent, but he has found ways around this. So let's touch on Blackheart real quick for shits and giggles. So Blackheart is often depicted in comics and media as being the quote unquote spawn of the devil or the heir of Mephisto. But what Blackheart actually is the collection of negative emotions, energy that and deeds that basically stained an area. Like there was this area where all these murders and like all these people were violated and hurt and robbed and tortured and stolen, and all this negative energy he basically gave a corporeal form and figured that a being like that would make a perfect protege. So like when he basically created him from that negative energy. So he said to him, like, he's like, so what do I call you? Like, cause like when he first does like the ritual or whatever, like this small child appears in front of him and he goes, I really don't have a name. So he's like, what should I call you? So he's like, since I'm created from the deeds of the hearts of the blackest hearts, I am created from the deeds of men with the blackest hearts. Call me Blackheart.
I'll be honest. Now that I've watched these first 3 episodes, I'm thoroughly excited. I'm thoroughly excited because Marvel, I'm pretty sure, like I said in no. So I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Triage, and then I was telling him that Marvel has many different aspects, and this was a conversation about why I feel like Marvel has lost its touch, because they're trying to touch into too many different aspects all at the same time. But the one aspect that I've always been interested in is the darker side of Marvel, like Blade and the Midnight Suns and the more mystical aspects of Marvel, because that shit goes deep, real fucking deep, and it gets real fucking dark real fucking quick. So I'm thoroughly excited to see what they're gonna do, where they're gonna go with this, because I'm pretty sure this is an 8-episode show. I'm pretty sure they're running 8 episodes for this. I don't see them trying to run I don't see them trying to run 6 episodes. I feel like there's way too much that to touch on and so little time, because these episodes are only, let's see, they range between 40 to 50 minutes. So 40 to 50 minutes, there's too much. But I'm also reading here. So Agatha All Along premiered on Disney Plus September 18th in 2024, right? And it did the 2-episode drop. And then so they're doing, so it looks like 5, 6, 7. And so they're doing weekly. So the next 5 episodes are being released weekly until October 23rd. And then the finale, the final 2 episodes are set to release on October 30th. And they're doing, so it's going to be 2. Okay. So I think this is going longer. So they dropped, so 5, 6, 7. And then they said the finale is going to be 2 episodes. So 8, 9. So it's going to be 9 episodes. Oh, they got some shit. Oh, I can already tell they got some shit planned. They got some shit planned for our ass, bro. No Diddy. Like, they're, because first off, I think this is the only one that's gone 9 episodes. I think the max that they've hit so far is 8. They started out just doing 6 episodes. WandaVision was 8, I think, or 6.
I think it was 8.
Yeah, and then I know Falcon and Winter Soldier was 6. And then a lot of the other shows were kind of just like 6 episodes, and now they're dropping with 9. So this is the part of their phase 5. So I'm just I just know that there's gonna be something big that this show is gonna tie into. Unfortunately, I feel like they also confirmed that Wanda is dead. I feel like they confirmed that in this. At least for Agatha, it's confirmed for Agatha that she's dead.
The Wanda of the 616 universe, yes.
The Wanda of the 616, yeah. Or I'm gonna say MCU, because I cannot get behind them calling the MCU Earth 616. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry. Why does this bother you so much?
Because because I'm a nerd and I have ADHD and I have a bunch of other issues, and so small shit bothers me. I kind of just feel like the comic books are 616. And they already stated when they first started the MCU that the MCU is a spin-off of the Ultimate Universe, right? And let me just take a quick double check here. Unless you know offhand, the Ultimate Universe, what Earth is that?
Offhand, I don't know actually, but I know of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think Earth 616 was just like their way of differentiating like everything what's going on. But
no, all right, so here we go. Marvel Comics Ultimate Universe is designated as Earth 6160. So it's 6160. While the original Ultimate Marvel imprint was Earth 1610. I don't know what that means. Earth 1610, the original Ultimate Marvel Universe, which ran from 2000 to 2015. It updated the origins of classic Marvel characters from the modern Earth 1610. It was seemingly destroyed in 2015, but some characters survived and were integrated into the main Marvel Universe, Earth 616. Earth 6160, the new Ultimate Universe, which features new interpretations of Marvel characters in a radical alternate socio-political status quo. It's based on the last vestiges of a dead universe. So the Ultimate Universe is designated, well, the original Ultimate Universe is 1610. We're not going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about the new incarnation of the Ultimate Universe, which is Earth 6160, right? So if the MCU is a spinoff of the Ultimate Universe, which is 6160, I think they should call this Earth 6161. Earth 6161 instead of Earth 616, because that's the comic book designation. And if this is a multiversal situation, then the comic books should be a part of the multi. And it is, because if in Multiverse of Madness, when him and America Chavez are jumping through, breaking through the different multiverses, there is a universe that they break into that is comic drawn. right? You see what I'm saying? So it shouldn't. So MCU should not be Earth 616. It should be 6161 if it's a divergent of the Ultimate Universe. And that's something that always bothered me. This is a little something that just always bothered me about that shit, about the way they were doing that shit. But no, yeah. I just and so if they're gonna run it this way, they need to make sure that because I also feel like that's another big thing that's messing them up. They're not properly they're not organizing things anymore. Things aren't very organized. So if you watched within the first few phases, that whole Infinity Saga, things were very organized. Everything was a part of the one storyline to further that one storyline, whether it be the shows, in the movies, or it all came together into one thing. So I'm hoping that with Agatha all along and the shit that they're building up to in this one, in this, that it doesn't get lost in the mess, that we do all this shit in Agatha all along. They give us an amazing finale, introduce a big ass plot point within the MCU, but then we don't see or hear anything about it for another 3, 4, maybe even 5 years later.
Yeah.
Because look, how long has it been since the ending of Shang-Chi?
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. 21. Shang-Chi came out in 2021.
Okay.
It's now 2024. And that ending cutscene left a lot to be like, excuse me, what's going on? Hold up. I want to know what's more about what this is leading up to. And it's like, and again, it's been another 3 years, and we still haven't gotten a release date for Shang-Chi 2. You see what I'm saying? And I just don't want that to happen with Agatha all along, because I have a good, strong feeling that they are going to dive far deeper into that mystic realm that I very much so enjoy, about Marvel. I just don't want it to get lost in the clutter.
Well, like I was saying, like this is a good way for them to tie, because they've already name checked Mephisto. I'll keep wanting to say Mephistopheles. They keep bringing up the word quote unquote Black Heart. So it's like we all know that the last time we saw the Darkhold before WandaVision was in Robbie Reyes' hands, and he said he was going to hide it so no one would find it. And here's another thing I'm very curious about, because it said that any human who reads the Darkhold basically corrupts their mind or drives them insane. So do you have to have like mystical power not to read it? Do you have to be supernatural and have it not affect you? Like, how does that work?
So it's about having the wherewithal to read it and be able to resist its call. So with that, we also have to dive into what the Darkhold is and who created the Darkhold. When we go into that,
we learn about that in the Multiverse of Madness.
A little bit. We learn a little bit in the Multiverse of Madness. But I'll be honest, I'm learning a lot about the Darkhold from actually from playing Midnight Suns, the game that came out. I'm learning a lot about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it actually plays a big role in the game, at least like in a side story of the game. So like the Darkhold is also known as the Book of Sins, the Book of Spells, or the Book of the Damned. It was a book of spells containing transcribed dark magic based on the ancient engravings carved by an ancient being called Cthon. Right? And there's only 2 copies of the Darkhold to have ever surfaced within recent times. So I'm thinking that the Darkhold that we see in Shield is that second copy of the Darkhold that we see here. And because they do look different too. They do look different.
Interesting.
So now, and then within that, then we got to also dive in and dig on who Cthon is. Cthon is a demonic entity who prophesied the existence of the Scarlet Witch and carved his knowledge into the walls of the Darkhold Castle on top of Mount Wundagore, which was transcribed into the Darkhold. So pretty much he's the one that created the whole myth of the Scarlet Witch. So the Scarlet Witch is tied to Cthon, right? And Cthon's thing is that he wants to take over, all of reality, and imbue it with his darkness. So he transcribed the prophecy on the walls. Someone found it and then wrote it all down in the book, giving the book power, along with a bunch of other dark work spells in there as well. And so through the book, what and actually drives mortals crazy while reading it is it's Cthon speaking to them, trying to take control of them and have them do his bidding. But now if you are magically imbued, you already have a bunch of protections on you. You're able to withstand the call of Cthon.
Okay.
So that's why that if that, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's really what all that is, because we saw in Agents of Shield, when Fitz picked it up, this man went berserk and started creating life-size decoys, LNDs, and created an entire virtual world that had people stuck in there thinking they live in their own lives for Hydra.
Yeah, that was a shit show.
That was, but I also feel like that was a fire ass season. That was like Agents of Shield rarely miss with a season. Like things got messy kind of towards the end, but it was still cool. It was still cool.
I don't know. The first two seasons were a bit slow burn for me, but my whole thing with that is like, for example, like I said, that's proof in the pudding right there about what the Darkhold was capable of, and that was just what that specific person wanted to do and what their goal was. So it's like, so once again, short of you being someone who's mystically endowed and has a sense of self-control, anyone who reads that book is fucked. Like fucked.
And Fitz was able to combine the magic with his science. He was able to bring, like I said, he wasn't a wizard, he wasn't a witch, he had no magical power, but his power was science, and he was able to bring the book to life and do all these spells by using science. Because if you see, he's able to create a portal, much like what we see Doctor Strange do with his portals into another dimension with the machine that he had. That is also the same kind of portal that Robbie Reyes ends up creating with his chains.
Same way Doctor Strange created one with the sling rings.
Yep. And when the first time I saw Doctor Strange create the portal with the sling ring, I was like, oh, that looks a lot like the portal that was created in Agents of Shield. But he just was able to create it with science. And that also goes back to kind of like a thing that people are always saying, that magic is this science that we don't understand yet. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really fun to have that connection in there. So what if, right? So all this. So if I'm correct on my timeline, right? This her walking the Witch's Road and her getting the Darkhold happened 16 years ago, because they said that's what she did. She gave up her child in order to get the Darkhold. So it had to have happened 16 years ago. If we're going with the idea that Teen is actually her son, Nicholas Scratch. Right? So it had to have happened 16 years ago, because he's 16 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. But even then, Agatha was also already incredibly strong, because she absorbed all the magic of her entire coven. So she was already ridiculously strong.
What if when we see her surrounded by her coven back, like in that flashback in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
during the Salem, what if she had just finished the road and she went back to her coven, and the power that she got at the end of the road was the siphoning ability, and she went back to her coven knowing she had that power now and confronted them, and that is why when they attacked her, she literally just smiles and absorbed all their power.
So I'm thinking that so there's different kinds of magic, as we see. There's potions magic, divination magic, there's green magic, there's dark magic, and then with Wanda there's chaos magic. So clearly her coven were actually it's never really said, because if the Darkhold is dark magic, then they should have been fine. Because what I'm thinking is that when she walked the road, she got the Darkhold and she came back, and what if she walked the road? What if they made her walk the road in order to retrieve the Darkhold for the coven? Yet when she got back, she hid the Darkhold away, and that's why they turned on her, because she took the power for herself instead of for the coven.
That's too much power to trust one person to retrieve, especially something that's known to corrupt people. Yeah, that's way too dangerous. That's like some real set someone up for failure type shit.
But what if there also was like a trial or something that they did within the coven to find the person that would be the best fit? Because their coven was, let's see, there was about 5 of them surrounding her, and then she would have been the 6th. So what if that's what it was? What if there was a whole trial or something that they did to find the person within the coven that would be the strongest to go and retrieve the book?
Road to hell, good intentions.
Well, she actually, I'm remembering it better now. Her coven confronts her because she did something wrong, right?
Yeah. So what if the thing that was wrong was her retrieving the Darkhold? What if that was like a big no-no? It's like, yo, no, the Darkhold, no, that's magic that we don't fuck with.
Or what if it was about her son back then? Like her coven found out that she traded her son.
They
realized
that was a long time. That was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was during the Salem witch trials. No. That was before the Salem witch trials, I'm pretty sure. Or hell, even then, what if what if all that was shit, I lost my train of thought. What if whatever Agatha did was what started the Salem witch trials?
Well, I think she was behind it, yeah.
So from my understanding is Agatha's age is like, it's still unrevealed. We don't know her actual age, but she claims to be centuries years old, right? But she also claimed to have met Scryer over 5 centuries before the fall of Atlantis, which took place 20,000 years ago within the comic books, right? And then at some point she got into witchcraft. So I'm thinking, so she's incredibly old. And then within, now the Salem witch hunts was in like the 15th century. So like from what I read, in the early 15th century, Harkness was stationed in Transia, which is kind of like the Marvel's version of Transylvania or whatever. But Transia is located right near Mount Wundagore, where she was a part of a coven that also included what were their names? Karina, Jackie LaVey, Minoru, and Zorik. So Minoru, for those you don't know,
Sister Grimm.
Minoru, yeah, Sister Grimm, but she was also like from a lineage of magic. So that, you know, that's a little nod right there. And so one time the group gathered to try to put an end to the witch hunts happening across Europe, which is actually talked about within Midnight Suns. And one of the characters that you interact with is Agatha, well, at least the ghost of Agatha Harkness, who was actually good in this. So she joined them in trying to stop these witch hunts. But Jackie sacrificed Corina, who she deemed as the weakest one, to invoke the powers of this ancient god Valtor. Yeah. So for years, Agatha's tried to rescue Corina from Valtor's dominion, but was never powerful enough to do it. Now, to my understanding, so the way I read it was by the late, like what I think they said, like the 17th century, Agatha had settled in Salem, and then she formed her own coven of witches, hoping to be able to freely practice magic in this air quote new world. But her group ended up being persecuted during the witch trials, and then I think it was like they said it was like late 1600s or whatever. She encountered the mutant hero Firestar after she was accidentally sent back in time. Believing Firestar to be a witch, the people of Salem tried to burn her at the stake. However, clearly, you know, her name's Firestar. That didn't really work too well. She fought back and was later contacted by Agatha Harkness. And Agatha revealed that she approved of the trials, believing them necessary for the magical people to grow stronger and be prepared for a war against mankind. She even sent some of her coven to kill the weak, so she had like turned against them. So I think there's a possibility that what Agatha did wrong was kill another witch. Because Agatha states while she's fighting Rio in her house, you know you can't kill me. It's against the rules.
Huh.
So there's a possibility that her coven turned against her because she killed a witch. Or she was going around killing witches by taking their power.
That makes sense.
To make herself strong enough. Because clearly we haven't heard anything about the character Corina in this. But that might also be something that we find out about later on. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking from my knowledge of Agatha, which I'm interested also because they are bringing in Fantastic Four, and Agatha is essentially Franklin Richards' nanny. Huh. So that's going to be that's pretty crazy. And in this new form of the Fantastic Four, they're all older. They're all a little bit older than what we're used to seeing. So, you know, clearly with Johnny being the youngest. So I'm interested to see where they're going to take this and who they're going to introduce in this. Now, I have a question for you two, right? After watching these 3 episodes of Agatha All Along, I personally have witnessed a certain overall theme about the show, and that theme seems to be a reference towards a certain movie, a certain cult classic film that also had to do with witches. Have you guys picked up on that as well? So clearly, Triage, you said correct. So I think that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Jay, have you
yes, but I cannot remember what the heck it is. But
All right.
I think I know what you're talking about.
All right, Triage. Go. Tell me what did you pick up from that?
From the feeling of it was the whole thing of the way the first and foremost one, the dynamic of how everything shifted from it going from bright and sunny to very very dark and murderous.
Mm-hmm.
And then the idea of the assembling the covenants with the different elements, and then the fact that there's one witch that becomes more obsessed with their power opposed to the consequences of using said power.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's not going to be as dramatic, but it's definitely going that direction.
So the overall theme and reference that I'm getting from it is a dark Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yep.
So in the first episode, when she's still stuck in Wanda's spell, right? And she's like that a hardcore badass detective, whatever. When they find the body, what does the guy say? The body, how she died?
Just
She was
crushed.
crushed. What other witch do we know that was crushed?
The Wicked Witch when the house fell on her.
Exactly. Right. And also, what happened in their battle? Didn't Wanda hit her with a house?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did.
Yes.
And that was also a nod to Wizard of Oz during WandaVision when she hits her with a house. I was like, ha, I get that. But then when you go forward, what is it? The Witch's Road. Follow the yellow brick road. And at the end of the road, there will be something there that will give you what you're missing. What was the Tin Man missing? A heart. What was the Lion missing? His courage. Scarecrow was missing his brain. And at the end of the road, that being will give you the things that you are missing. This is just a dark ass version of the Wizard of Oz.
Very sneaky.
And
That's
when
sneaky.
the house falls on the witch, what's the only thing left showing?
Her feet.
Her shoes. Yep, her feet and her shoes. And what do they take off in order to walk the road?
Their shoes.
And what was Wanda missing? Well, because that body that they found was supposed to be Wanda, right? So, and what was she missing when she was laying there?
Her shoes.
Exactly. So to me, and even if you look at the aesthetic of the road, it looks like Wizard of Oz. It looks like they're in the land of Oz. So I think the overall arching theme is just a big ass reference to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I didn't notice that. That's
and what
crazy.
did they tell her? Don't stray off the yellow brick road. What did they tell her? They tell her don't stray off the yellow brick road. And what happens when she does stray off the yellow brick road? Personally, I don't remember because I haven't watched the Wizard of Oz in fucking forever. But not good things.
Not good things.
Yeah. So this is just a big ass allegory for the Wizard of Oz, and I fucks with it heavy. I'd fucks with it heavy because I just think that's so dope. It's paying homage to a classic, and also there's a scene that people that it's easy to miss. It's real quick, but it's easy to miss. When they go to pick up Wu, the Asian witch, the protection witch, she takes down Teen. And what does Agatha say? Well, first off, when they meet the Divination witch, what does she say? She's like, "Who's this?" She's like, "This is my pet," right? And then doom. Fast forward when they get the protection witch. She says, "This is Toto."
Yeah.
She calls him Toto.
Yep. That's very true.
So I'm loving the vibe and the feel I'm getting from this. I love the fact that the entire idea of what they have to do is they have to break down and go and get back to basics. They got to get back to the basics of witchcraft. And it seems like each trial that they're going to run into is going to test one of them in a way that they're missing. Because the first trial that they run into, they have to brew a potion. and they have a potion switch. And mind you, she's lost her power, she's lost her ability, but it's forcing her to get back to her basics. And she had to brew the potion that saved almost everyone.
Yes, she did. But they did it.
Yeah, they did it. They did it. Almost. For the most part, almost.
I feel so bad for
Sharon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. But at the same time, what did they expect that happen? What did Agatha expect to happen? Oh,
it's just my green thumb.
It's absolutely ridiculous. What I would have liked to see is Sharon actually make it to the end of the witch's road and actually become a witch herself.
She still might.
You're right. She still might.
Yeah, that is true. You never know.
And especially in Marvel, fucking no one stays dead. Damn near no one stays fucking dead in Marvel. Literally half the fucking universe was dead, and they didn't stay dead. I don't know. So where do you guys see this going? Well, actually, hold on. Before we get to that, let's take a quick break. Let's hear from some of our amazing friends that are doing some amazing things within the podcast universe, as well as some of our friends who are who have their own clothing line and merch going on. So let's hear from Midnight Comic. Let's hear from the Room Full of Blurs. Let's hear from Icarus Podcast, and let's hear from Heartline Comics.
Going on, everybody, Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Room Full of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin, from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
Join the Pulse. We're excited to announce the launch of Heartline Comics' newest line, the Barcode Collection. Our fresh drop just hit the internet and is turning heads. Imagine this. You're rocking our merch, and friends can scan the barcodes to instantly connect with the Heartline Comics website. It's a game changer. Stay ahead of the curve and never miss a beat. Subscribe to our website for exclusive alerts on the latest merch drops and the newest comics hitting the shelves. Be part of the Heartline community and show off your style with pride. Trust us. You don't want to miss this.
All right, and we are back. Again, please definitely go check them out. They got some amazing things going on, especially Midnight Comics. They're doing some big stuff with their countdown to midnight. If you have a comic book character and you want to, they can possibly be a part of the universe that Midnight Comics is building, which is an immense universe. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So with Agatha all along, how do you guys feel it's going to eventually tie in to the overall MCU? And do you feel that it's even going to have an effect on, especially with the shit that we've seen them doing right now, with their current slate, their current lineup? What do you guys feel, the impact is going to be on the greater MCU?
I kind of like what was brought up before. I think that they're setting up, you know, I think that they're going to be introducing a lot more really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Here's hoping.
Hoping.
And it's done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's a big part. Yep, that's the whole thing. Yep. Now, what about you? Tank, Trish, come on, what you think?
I mean, if anything, what I'm hoping is that we get to see the actual supernatural villain start to appear from this little trip down the road, and that this will lead to hopefully us seeing a Ghost Rider. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what I want to. I want to so bad. And with that being said, I don't know if I want to see Johnny or if I want to see Robbie more, because I feel like okay, so if we see Johnny Blaze, I want to see I would like to see Nicolas Cage, or maybe even a more gruffer version of him. Like I 100% fucks with Norman Reedus playing the Ghost Rider.
Oh man.
I also fucks with the idea of Keanu Reeves playing the Ghost Rider.
We can go full No Way Home with this shit and have Robbie Reyes, Daniel Ketch, and Johnny Blaze. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, honestly, because there has been times where there's been multiple writers active at the same time. But I don't know if they're gonna run that yet. I think they might, since to modernize it, since Robbie is the current writer. I think they might run Robbie, because it seems like Robbie's been getting especially with his storyline of him being like one of the most powerful writer, known as the All Writer, which I'll get more into that in another episode. I think we actually did when I was when we did the Ghost Rider episode for last October. October. Yep, we did a Ghost Rider episode. So go check that out. It is on our YouTube, it's in our podcast playlist. Go check that out. That was actually a fun episode. We had gameplay from Desolation Gaming playing the Ghost Rider video game from back in the day. That was pretty awesome. But I would like that. I would absolutely fucking love seeing the Ghost Rider done well, because the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider that they had in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I felt like he was spot fucking on. I felt like it was great. And even with that, we also saw the writer jump from person to person and then go back to Robbie, because Coulson had the writer for a moment, and then then from Coulson he went into what was his name? I loved him as a director. The bald black guy, I forget his name.
Oh, Mackenzie.
Yeah, fucking, I love his character. I fucking love his character. His character was great. I felt like he was I felt like he was if they really would have had him stick as a director of S.H.I.E.L.D., if he wanted to be the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., because he didn't want to be the director. That's why he ended up making Daisy the director. I felt like that was great. That was fucking great. And Mackenzie, he's a motorcycle head. He rides motorcycles. So it was just fucking. And then with the fucking shotgun with the axe on it, fucking dope. So fucking dope. Like I just think that's the route that they need to go. I don't think the cosmic is what they need right now. I don't think going cosmic is what they need right now, because that's just I feel like they're not ready for that. I think they need to stick with something a little more grounded right now, which would be the mystical. That's personally what I think, and I think Agatha all along could be the start of that, and them sticking with that. And also, we also have the ending of Multiverse of Madness, where we see what's his name, Cersei or Calypso? What was it? I think it was Cersei. who was actually Doctor Strange's wife within the dark dimension. Oh, the like the dark dimension counterpart of Strange. That's his wife, and they're
Yes.
king and queen of the dark realm, of the dark dimension. So we also get to see that too. We also have that going on too with the incursions. So I think they really do need to crack down and do more with the darker side of Marvel. Like I've been saying this for fucking ever, especially with Blade. We need, because like the vampires. So as we saw within New Line Cinema's Blade with Wesley Snipes' Blade, it was more scientific, but at the end, which is one thing that did throw me off about the first Blade movie, because I recently rewatched it, is everything seems to be very scientific. Like they're basing it all in the realm of like science, but then in the end we have Deacon Frost performing the blood ritual.
Huh. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then the same thing in Blade 2, the new breed was they were experimental.
Yes.
That the father had experimented and created this new form of vampire. Right. So I'm just like, but that's also another thing too, because what I've been from learning within Midnight Suns is that I guess vampires fall within both worlds. They may be magical, but then it's also scientific, because we have Morbius, who isn't your regular everyday vampire. He was turned into a vampire via science.
Okay.
So yeah, but a lot of what we see in the comic books is more so on the mystical side. When it comes to Blade, we're dealing with Dracula and stuff and shit like that, and all these other and all the vampire horde. Yeah, I definitely think that they need to use Agatha to jumpstart their their more mystic and dark side of Marvel. So before we finish this off, let's also talk about how different this show has been as opposed to anything else that Marvel has released. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
I really don't, but go ahead.
Cheeks, fucking cheeks.
Why are we mentioning cheeks?
Bro, what other Marvel piece of Marvel aside from Logan and the Deadpool series do we see nudity?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I see why you're saying cheeks. Okay.
Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder. Did we actually see his butt?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
Of course, they have to show Chris Hemsworth's butt.
Yeah, that. All right, now I know why I don't remember. That was a repressed memory that you just
your
brought
brain
back.
Automatically made you forget.
Yeah, thank you. Just bring back that fucking repressed memory. There's a reason why memories are repressed, man. There's a reason why they're repressed.
Hey, you the one talking about ass, man. You talking about this made this shit so different. You brought this shit up. You wanted to go full diddler with this, and here we are.
Whoa! I was just saying that they showed Agatha's ass, but then on top of that, the language that they used as well in the show, like they're like, she literally says, "You old craggly bitches," and then didn't she say some shit about like ripping someone's throat out their ass or some shit like that? Something like even the language in this is very different from what we've seen. And it's way more mature. Even though I looked at the rating on it was like TV Y17 or something like that. So if I remember correctly, TV Y17 is a step below PG.
Wow.
if I remember correctly. But like, yeah, it's different in that aspect of like it's a little more raw. It's a little more raw. It's a little more kind of like raunchy, in a way. Let's see if I can find the exact rating of the show, because I found that I thought that was really cool too, that they're going a little bit different. They're getting a little more risque with it. Rating age, there we go. Yeah, no, it's TV 14. Sorry. So I actually all along it's rated TV 14, which is if just double check real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so it goes G, PG, PG-13, R. Then we got the NC 17, which there's not a lot of those. There's very, very, very few shows and movies that are NC 17, which means that it's adults only. Like, it's not X-rated stuff, but it's like adult only. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that falls. Yeah, PG-13 TV. Let me check TV, because I just want to make sure I'm getting this right before I say what I said. TVY 17, TVG, TVPG, TV 14. Yeah, so it looks like TV 14 for like the ratings for TV, parental guidance for TV. TV 14 is a step above PG and a step below TV MA.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so they're one step away from TV MA, which is to me it's new. If anyone knows anything different than me about Marvel, I don't think their other shows were near that. I thought all their other shows were TV with PG, or TV PG.
I mean, way back when, maybe, but the mouse is wearing the Affinity Gauntlet and he's buying up all these properties. Mickey's out there with a raging erection, fucking every company that says no to him. So let's not forget.
That is very, 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 very right. That is
Fox
very,
said,
very factual.
He said to the Fox, "Hoo-hoo, you don't want to sell, huh? Hoo-hoo.
Oh
Take
my
that, take
god.
that, take that."
Oh wow.
But no, yeah, even WandaVision. WandaVision was PG. And then check out Falcon. Falcon. Falcon was TV 14. Oh yeah, they did say shit, bullshit, ass, and hell. You're right. Yeah, they did. Okay. All right. And then yeah, definitely fucking She-Hulk had to be TV 14 as well, because depictions of sex, and I think there was also
Listen, man, I don't want to talk about that fucking misfit, that waste of time. I want the 8 hours of my life back.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, no, they said dick in that show too. Dick, shit, bullshit, and got cut off when they went to say fuck.
Listen, I'd rather have my balls dragged across a cheese grater than rewatch that shit.
Oh man.
I agree. I personally would say a blender, but yeah. And again, let's make it loud and clear. The reason why we say this about She-Hulk, because it was shitty writing. It was shitty writing. It is not because it was a female lead.
Yes, just making that distinction here.
It was because it was shitty fucking writing. And I feel bad for the actress who played She-Hulk for having to deal with the shit and having her name tied to that shit. because I personally I don't know her from anything else, but I'm pretty sure she's not a bad actor.
Orphan Black. What you mean?
What happened?
Orphan Black.
Oh, I didn't watch Orphan Black.
You never sat through Orphan Black?
Nah.
Oh, you need to sit through that.
Wait, Orphan Black. Why is it Orphan Black? Orphan Black. Orphan Black. It sounds familiar. I just gotta see the title screen, and yeah, I just gotta see the title screen, and it'll make sense. Oh, wasn't the chick that played Jessica Jones in that too?
She's in the spinoff. She's in a new one.
Okay. All right. Yep. All right. Yeah, I have not sat through this yet. Yeah, Echoes, right? Or from Black Echoes. That's what she's that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I have not sat through that. But again, like I said, I'm pretty sure that Orphan Black went fucking stupid. Like, people love that show. So I'm pretty sure she's a great actor, but it's just the script that they gave her was fucked up. You know, but at the end of the day, that's that Marvel money. And I'm pretty sure she made a good chunk of change from it. You know, but it just sucks because now, you know, she got a bad title tied to her name.
Yeah.
And it's too big of a title for her to kind of like bury in her IMDb. And it sucks because no matter how many dope ass movies or shows that she does, like, she's always going to be tied. People are going to be like, oh, isn't that the chick that plays She-Hulk? Because she's in such a massive franchise, such a massive name. And it was also such a massive blunder that I don't think she'll be able to escape this. Like Daisy Ridley, there's no way she's going to escape. The tragedy of Star Wars. There's no way she's going to be able to escape that.
Tragedy.
And then they confirmed that she's doing another Star Wars movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We all know that we don't know what we're talking about, but we all know what it is that we don't know that we're talking about.
Power, I'm already drunk, man. Don't confuse me.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Lucky motherfucker. But no, yeah, there's no. So yeah, I don't know. But that's also a thing that I don't want to happen with Agatha all along as well. You know, these are some really interesting characters that we're getting introduced to. You know, when I'm talking about her coven, and then Agatha and herself is such a big character within the comic books. I don't want this to be a blunder. Thus far, I'm liking these first 3 episodes. I don't want it to fall later on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want it to fall later on. Because it's going good. It's picking up good. It has some decent comedy. I've gotten a few decent chuckles out of it, you know. And then just the story that they're portraying is interesting as fuck.
It is. It really is.
You know, and the actor that they have playing Agatha, she's a really good actor, and I feel like she's playing Agatha greatly. But then she's, as we saw in the first episode, she's also an amazing actor at acting bad. Because clearly, you know, everything was like very overly exaggerated within that first episode. You know, she was intentionally doing the over dramatization of that character.
Yeah.
I mean, so go ahead.
I think that she portrays the evilness of it perfectly. Like because, you know, like I said before, it's the antagonist's point of view.
Yep.
And, you know, Marvel does, I feel like, a really good job with that. They also do a very good job with casting.
Yes. Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. That's why you heard me stop, right? Fuck Brie Larson. But yeah, usually they do a great job in casting. I definitely agree with you. And then, you know, if you look at a lot of their other, you know, a lot of their other movies, Like, even though it's a superhero movie, the antagonist ends up taking the show. Like, you know, especially like Thanos is a big representation of that. Even though it's a superhero movie, we end up seeing things from Thanos' perspective.
Zemo, Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Loki, but you know he's a waffle eating pussy now.
Yeah.
Kang.
Who?
Kang.
Yeah,
I know.
Kang.
I know we're not supposed to talk about Bruno, but I'm gonna
Who
bring up the fact that we're getting.
Who say that? We better we gonna talk about this Bruno. We gonna talk about that Bruno always. They fucked that man. They fucked that man harder than Diddy fucked Meek.
What?
I said. Let me get a little bit closer for this one. They fucked Jonathan Majors harder than Diddy fucked Meek.
Take that.
Take that. Ha ha. They fucked Jonathan Majors so hard out of that role. That brother still deserves that role. But then on top of that, by fucking him, they also fucked themselves. So, like, that's the equivalent. And first off, before I say what I'm going to say I apologize for the imagery that I'm about to give y'all. What they did to Jonathan Majors, like I just said, that they fucked him harder than Diddy fucked Meek. What they did was the equivalent of Diddy fucking Meek while Diddy fucked himself with the dildo. Because in turn, they ended up fucking themselves, and now they wrote themselves into a corner. Now they're trying to write themselves out by bringing back Robert Downey Jr., by bringing in Dr. Doom, and it actually not being Dr. Doom. It's going to be a variant of Dr. Doom. So we don't even know what the true MCU Dr. Doom is going to be. And now they're trying to do this whole Secret Wars thing, and it's just they're they fucked themselves because they fucked Jonathan Majors. Take that.
Well, okay then.
You know, and that's literally how I feel about that. Like that, yeah. You know, I just hope Marvel doesn't fuck themselves. I hope they do not shoot themselves in the fucking foot with what they got here, because I see a lot of potential in Agatha all along. I see potential. I see a lot of potential. There's so many things that they can do. Like Triage said, they can bring in Ghost Rider. It seems like they're going to be bringing in Blackheart and Mephisto, which is a direct connection to Ghost Rider, right? And Ghost Rider connects, and Ghost Rider's a part of the Midnight Suns. Well, at least Robbie Reyes is. He's a part of the Midnight Suns, right? And then, you know, if you do go with Johnny Blaze, Johnny, he's a part of the King in Black storyline.
It really does leave it open.
Exactly. There's such a wide door that they can work with, especially with, you know, they could end up bringing back Scarlet Witch, because Scarlet Witch, you know, she does overcome her darkness and does become a good guy and does work on the side of the light for a very long time. Like her run as on the hero side is way longer than her run on the villain side, whether it be with the Brotherhood, whether it be on her own, you know. But again, she also does battle with that darkness for a very long time, but she does overcome it and use her powers for good. So that opens that up to be brought back, which Wanda does end up being put under the tutelage of Strange as well. So that brings back in Doctor Strange. Right? There's a whole fucking mystical world, a mystical rabbit hole that they can go down with Agatha all along, and I don't want them to shoot themselves in the foot with it. What about you, Triage? I know you're probably trying to get over that fucked up imagery that I did.
So my whole thing with Agatha all along is that if it leads to something bigger and better for the MCU moving forward, I'm all for it. But if this is going to be like a standoff one-off,
yeah, no, I'd be kind of upset because I mean, go ahead.
This could lead to a full Midnight Sun thing, man. Because let's not forget, we do have people with supernatural potential. They could do like the whole thing like they're doing with the Thunderbolts right now. where it's
Which
like something might
interested
happen.
in that. Yeah.
What?
I'm interested in checking the Thunderbolts. That's all I said. I was just interested in that too.
Right? So something might happen to the point where you need Agatha Harkness, where you need Robbie Reyes, where you need Nico Minoru, where you need Doctor Strange. So it's like we have a lot of people within the MCU already who are established magical users or magical based characters. So it's
Doctor
like
Doom.
something might happen to the point where it's like, all right, I need all these guys here now for this. Or it's one of those things where you might need to consult these people for these things.
No, absolutely. And again, like you said, you just named off quite a few, but then you also got Magic as well. And like I said, in the game Midnight Suns, Magic is one of the characters that you can play as. You have Magic, you have Nico, you have Robbie, you have it also involves Agatha. She's kind of like, an elder witch ghost that helps your main character out. They brought in Spider-Man, you have, and there are a bunch of other characters as well. And then even with Marvel acquiring the Fox rights, they also acquired the rights to New Mutants, and Magic is in the New Mutants. And I just want to say, even though the movie itself wasn't great, I feel like the person that they casted as Magic is great, because isn't she from the Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
Yeah, she's an amazing actor. So I feel like love her. I do feel like she looks a little weird. I feel like she does look a little like alienish a little bit, because she has like really big eyes or anything. But even aside from that, her acting is absolutely amazing. Is hands down absolutely amazing. And I think she was a great pick to play Magic, and I would be interested in seeing her be brought back. And then of course, who else is a part of the Midnight Suns but Blade? Blade's also a part of the Midnight Suns. So they already have, we've already seen a good majority of these characters, within the MCU. So I think that's a great point. I think that is an amazing point, Triage. But I don't know. I didn't want them to fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Let this be a gateway or a doorway to something bigger, and I feel like even if they did want to do multiple things at the same time, they need to have it on different levels, right? So if they're going to go cosmic, keep it on the big screen, right? Keep it on the big screen. But then what they should do is within TV, have their TV stuff maybe be the thing that's going through the more mystical line of things. Maybe they can do an actual longer series. Well, with specifically diving into that mystic realm. If you're having a hard time getting the Blade movie off the ground, fuck it, break it down into a show and and take the concept of the movie and put it into a show form. All right, instead of doing a 2-hour movie, do an 8-hour show, and that way you're not losing as much money. You have shorter shoot time, so that means your actors are on screen for less. They're in front of the camera for less amounts of time. And you can actually expand, stretch it out more, and you can get your story more. Same thing with Robbie Reyes. Have a fucking Ghost Rider show.
I think that's a good idea.
And then run it the way Netflix did. You know what I mean? You have introduce each character in their own individual show, and then have a collaborative show. You've already introduced Wanda, right, in her own show. You got Agatha. Right now, let's fucking Moon Knight. Moon Knight could be a part of the Midnight Suns as well, because technically he is within that realm. And Moon Knight, it was also supposed to be kind of like what was his subtitle? What was his subtitle? He was Moon Knight. Something pretty much his thing was dealing with werewolves, vampires, ghosts, and shit like that. That was his whole thing originally.
That's another thing. Yo, whatever happened to Wolf by Night?
I think they're going to they're going to do something with it. I know they're doing something with it because it went off. Like the ratings were ridiculous for it. It's and then and I feel bad. I still haven't watched it in color because that shit's going to be so bloody. In color has to be so bloody because it was already incredibly bloody in black and white, and that was a really good gimmick. That was a really fun gimmick to use for that. Have it premiering it in black and white. And then later on, dropping the color version of it. Yeah,
It was a great way to keep it from being canceled from all the violence and all the blood. So yeah.
And then like they were like testing the waters. It's black and white. You know there's blood there, but you don't really see it. So we had somebody from YouTube. First off, thank you for watching. It says I heard it's not as good in color. I'll check it out. I'm gonna still check it out because even then, just the story in itself was really interesting. The story itself was really good and really fun. And then we get introduced to the werewolves, we get introduced to the vampires and all the other night loving creatures, which is a perfect spot to bring in Moon Knight into his actual what his actual role is within the comic books. Have all these separate shows and then bring all these these mystical sided characters in to one big show.
Yes, exactly. That's like what I'm hoping for.
Yep. And even if you want to have your own one specific team, we can have the Midnight Suns, your one specific team of the Midnight Suns, right? But then have all these other characters make cameos. Like they have to go to this person to find out about this person to find out about that. Have all these other characters help them. Maybe not be the main characters, but help them along their journey.
That would be good. That would be that would be people, fans would watch that.
Absolutely. And then they're also not rushing into anything because each one of them gets their own show and they're able to pull out each character's own personality, right? They'll have a better understanding of each character's personality. And then when they bring them together into the big show, like literally they just need to run it the same way Defenders was ran. To an extent, that's just that's how I feel. But to me, what I'm seeing so far right now is that Agatha All Along is it's a good show. It has a lot of potential. Agatha herself, the character Agatha, has so much history within the comic books. There's so much stuff that they can pull from the source material. But also, I'm also not mad about the original shit that they're kind of doing with her. I'm not mad about it. It's not bad. But no, yeah, I just it's a great show. Thus far. What's your take on it, Jay?
I like it. I really hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
I love the whimsical feeling of it. Like you said, it's close to Halloween, spooky time. And I think that they made a good decision to release it now. I just hope they tie it in with other things,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And also I absolutely agree with you. He says, I just hope they keep the quality up, especially for the finale. So from early in the show, I don't know if you happen to catch up early in the show. This is going to be about 9 episodes. I did the math. So they dropped a 2 episode drop for the premiere. There's going to be 5 episodes, and then the finale is going to be a 2 episode drop. So I think the finale is going to be something really, really big, really, really big. We talked about how we believe that they're going to be bringing in Blackheart and Mephisto, who have direct connections to Ghost Rider, which would open the door for them to bring in Ghost Rider again. And hopefully it's Robbie Reyes. If not, Johnny Blaze, either one, we'll take it. I hope Robbie Reyes, because I like Robbie Reyes' character a lot, especially what they did with him in the comic books. There's just a lot more that they can run on. Of course, there's a lot for Johnny as well, because he's just such a long running character. So there's just a lot that goes into him as well. But no, I think it's great. Triage, what's your thoughts on Agatha all along? I don't know if you know this, but you're also muted, brother.
My fault. So yeah, I'm not being let down so far. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm thoroughly entertained with some of this fuckery. But yeah, I really just want to see what the end result's going to be and what's going to be revealed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all the feelings that I'm getting is that it's going to be a big reveal. I think it's leading up to a really big reveal. Especially, I'm interested in finding out who exactly Teen is. I'm pretty sure he's Nicholas Scratch. I'm pretty sure that's his, that's who he is. Or they could be going with Darkhold Kid or Darkhold Boy as well.
He's Toto.
Or he's Toto. He's our Toto. But we also had talked about the fact that Agatha all along is paying overall, the show is paying homage to the Wizard of Oz in a really big way, with all the Wizard of Oz references, like her calling him Toto, the road itself being their version of the yellow brick road, how they say don't stray from the yellow brick road, them having to take off their shoes, and we see just a group of witches' shoes, which there's some kind of significance within IRL with witches' shoes. I don't know what it is. I can't remember specifically, but there is some significance to a witch's shoes. And then also the only thing that we saw of the Wicked Witch after the house gets dropped on her is her shoes. So there's a lot there's a lot of Wizard of Oz going on in this. It's just like a super dark whimsical Wizard of Oz, and I'm fucking loving it so far.
As long as it doesn't end with a midget hanging in the background.
Oh man. Holy shit.
It was a sandbag.
My dick.
Honestly, no. If it was a sandbag, they wouldn't have worked so hard in the remaster to get rid of it. I'm interested in seeing if they do. I'm interested in see if they do kind of like their own kind of version of the Lollipop Guild kind of thing. That would be pretty fucking funny. See fucking Wee Man walking onto the screen. Fucking Brad Williams walking behind him.
You're sucked off by a midget.
Whoa, hold on. What?
Nothing at all.
Oh, hell no. Hold up. I heard something about him. Wait, what? Something off, man. Hold up. What? You say it's all fun and games until you're getting sucked off by a midget? What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. All right. That has been the show. That's been the Super Breakdown. Tune in next week for another awesome, funny ass fucking episode. As always, fuck prep time, because we don't know what we're doing next week. Stay tuned to our Instagram and stay tuned to our Facebook page, the Super Breakdown Podcast. We'll be dropping what we're going to be doing next week. Probably either the day before or the day of. We like to keep it spicy, keep y'all on your toes. Hopefully next week it'll be even funnier, because not only I don't know about Triage. I don't know if Triage is going to be drinking that episode, but I'll probably be drinking that episode. Listen, I don't know about. Oh shit! This is a rare one. This is where usually it's me that's fucked up. Like by the end of these episodes. Wait. Okay. What are you drinking?
Some vodka, like an 80 proof to it.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. And as always, remember, fuck prep time.
Yeah, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Peace.